Oh, what a shot from about 10 meters out. Unf
Yeah, both goals, same spot, that upper corner. So I bet I'd see that goalie taking that away soon.
Unfortunate for the Americans to give away a goal from so far out with the passive play on, but they're back on the attack right now, trying to get something set. Hanovic has her hand in the air, signaling for the empty cross. Schluter takes it at the center back position and looks to swing it right. Looks like she got the pass off. I believe that was Da Cruz that was able to get that shot from the right back. And for those of you that are just getting our audio now, we had a little bit of technical difficulty before, but our producer behind the scenes, Martin Bolello, was able to get everything fixed up for us. So we appreciate that work. And again, we welcome you all to day 3 of the IHF World Cup qualifier here. We've got Canada versus the United States of America. It's been a good match so far. If you've been watching with us, remember, in order to sync up our audio with the visual that you might be getting from the IHF feed, just use that clock up at the top of that banner that's now reading 5:26, and you'll be able to sync up the audio you hear from us with the visual that you're getting from the IHF feed. As the Canadians get another goal from the left side, they're off to a strong start right here on the offensive side, getting some good jump shots from far distance.
Yeah, we also saw a fast break by Lucy. She was trying that a lot yesterday. It's nice to see that happening early on in this match.
Canada with the ball again in the half court set. They've done a great job attacking the Americans' defense so far. Common foul given, and they'll reset at 9 meters. Canada will look to attack I believe, the 2 and 1 defenders more so. The Reedy sisters in the middle are definitely the big defenders as they go right for them. And you'll see the Reedy sisters are able to get their hand up on that shot and made for an easy save for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Canada shooting to the left of the goalie. They may have seen something in the first couple of days. These teams have been watching each other for a while now.
Looks like we're going to have a 2-minute penalty off of that last possession. So the Americans will be playing a player up for the next 2 minutes. We'll keep our eye on that. It was a big turn in the game yesterday against Puerto Rico when they were playing with a player advantage and unfortunately gave up 2 goals while being up 1 player. So we'll see if they're able to attack with a 6-on-5 advantage right here. Hanovic with it on the left side, sends it down to the left wing and back around. Nice skip pass to the right wing, and it is pushed away and saved. So unfortunately, unable to convert on the first attempt here with the advantage. And now we'll look to see Canada probably try to milk the clock a little bit and wear out this 2-minute advantage that the Americans have. Looks
Looks
like
like they took their goalie out, so now it will be 6-on-6. Maybe we can get a goalie goal here.
exactly. We are still playing 6-on-6 on the this half of the court. But out of picture on the other side, the Canadians are playing without a goalie right now. You'll see a player run back right now to try to get subbed out before the Americans are able to attack. And now the Canadians are playing 6-on-5. Canada won't bring in a 6th player to finish up this possession. They'll just play it out 5-on-6 versus the Americans and try to make something happen. Nice swim move right there. And a foul given. The Canadians have done a great job milking this 2-minute penalty so far. That was the 3rd foul of this set, and the referee's hand is in the air signaling passive play warning. 1 pass has been given, a foul in the corner, and I wouldn't expect more than 1, maybe 2 passes from here. There's the first, and there's the shot, and it's out of bounds. It'll be goalie ball. Let's see if the Americans can get a goal out of this advantage right here, playing up by 1 player. Schluter gets tied up in the middle. And it looks like a second 2-minute penalty has been given to the Canadians. So now they're going to be playing 4-on-6 against America. This has to be an opportunity for the Americans to get a goal up score against the Canadians. We'll see if they're able to move the ball quickly side to side and take advantage of the many gaps that'll be here. Oh no, a turnover for the Americans. They're able to keep it as the Canadians deflected it out of bounds, and a nice save by the Canadian goalie. And again, the Americans come up goose egg with a two-player advantage. Would have liked to see them try to move it around a little bit more right there, Amber, to take advantage of that advantage they had.
Yeah, definitely. This is a first for me, 6-on-4. I'm not sure I've ever seen it. It feels like a lot of open space that we did not take advantage of there.
It seemed like there may have been as much as a 3-on-1 advantage on one side of the court. The Americans just unable to get the ball swung there quickly enough. Canada has 5 players on the court. I do believe that that first 2-minute penalty has run down now. And it will be back to 6 versus 5 for the next minute or so as that last penalty will wear out. But the first penalty is over. Canada now has 5 players back on the court to go with their goalie. And again, the key right here will be to move the ball quickly. Nice attack. And that's Hanovic, who saved the day yesterday with that penalty shot, closing moments to tie the game against Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we really
And
needed
Canada,
that. We couldn't come up the court again without another goal there. So got to feel good for
yeah,
momentum.
really crucial for the Americans to take advantage of these advantages they have when the Canadians get those penalties. Canada, I believe, is playing with just 5 people right here. I don't believe there's a right wing unless they're hidden down here in the corner. I thought that was a line advance or line. Yep, called by the referee right there. Player stepped on the line, 6-meter violation as the players on offense or defense are not allowed inside that solid line around the goal that is 6 meters out. 6-meter violation, and the 2-minute penalty appears to be over now for Canada, and we are back to full strength on both sides, 6-on-6. As we have a Barca play getting going right now, the circle comes out to set up Schluter. Unfortunately, the Americans unable to cash in on the circle switch with the left back coming strong down the middle. Common foul given as Lucy Brascos is able to get the tie up on Canada and make them reset here in the half court.
Yeah, nice to see that diving play by one of the Reedy sisters. As long as you don't touch the floor, you can do whatever you want in that circle.
Both teams using their circle to help move the ball around right there. Nice save by the American goalkeeper. She pushes the ball away, and the Americans will come up and look to set up a play right here. Starting on the left side right here again, we've got Hannah Schluter playing left back, Hanovic in the center back, and Isabella de Cruz playing right back. On the right wing for the Americans, we've got Heine Pinsky, and playing the left wing, Lucy Brascos. Turnover by the Americans, and the Canadians are looking to push it. They've got 2 players running out with only 1 defender back. She makes the move and pushes it away. Nice save by the goalie, saved off of the sideline, so that'll go to the corner for a throw in for Canada. Big save right here as the Americans hold on to a 1-goal lead. 4-3. The goalie for the American team is going to be Sofia Menchaca today. She's had a few great saves right here to start the game. Canadians now looking to move it right to left. Nice defense and opportunity for a run out if the Americans can secure it. Nice play. Nice play by, I believe, Schluter, able to wrangle up that dribbling ball down the court. And the Canadians strike back quickly with a goal of their own. Little bit of a delay with the banner. I believe the score should be 5-4 right now. I saw it right there on the in-house game board. It's 5-4 right now. The Americans in the lead. Almost halfway through this first half game, the Americans come in with an undefeated record as they beat Mexico in game 1 and tied Puerto Rico in game 2. The Canadians come in with a 2-0 record. Hanovic on the left side. Surprising right there, no calls. It seemed like her shooting arm was held up a little bit from behind. The Americans rushed back to hold up the Canadian attack, and the Canadians are reset in the half court. They've got number 2, Emily Set-Myrta, in the center back position. And as the right back comes across, it looks like somebody ran through the 6-meter line, turning into a turnover for the Canadians. So the score is 5-4. When I was looking at the score on our ticker right here, I thought that it seemed I didn't remember the American scoring as many goals as we were seeing up here on the scoreboard. It looks like we might have a little bit of a reset. It's going to be Canada leading 5-4 as everybody, both in America and Canada, are having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're all getting there in the end. Everything's all good. Canada up 5-4 right now. The Americans swinging at five side to side. Hanovic
It
gets tied up in the middle and they'll reset.
looks like we're matched up pretty evenly physicality wise. They all seem about similar.
Passive play warning in the air. That's one pass, only two more. And here's going to be the third one. Let's see if they allow this shot. And it was saved and then turned over by the Canadians. America will come down again. They'll probably slow it down a little bit as we see more of the same offense defense that we've seen throughout the weekend as Schluter and the Reedy sister have been going back and forth on offense and defense so far in these first two games of the IHF.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see us work the wings a little harder. Getting really plugged up in the middle feels like trying the same thing and seeing just kind of a spillage. If we got a penalty shot out of it, though, that's great. I'll take it.
Well, right on cue, you saw Heine Pinsky running in to create a second circle, which may have helped to cause that confusion, which is going to result in Maya Reedy's first penalty attempt. And again, another save. 0 for 2 from the penalty stripe for the Americans early on in this game. That's two goals that hopefully won't come back to haunt them as we progress in this one. And then now a quick set shot from the left back position by the Canadians. And they'll take a 2-goal advantage as the score keeps going back and forth. Now we're seeing 5-5. And I see in the building, it looks like it's 5-5, but it looks a little bit of back and forth here with the score. So please stay with us as we get all this figured out for you. And a nice goal right there as the Reedy sister is able to secure it and then dive in for the shot from the circle position. Canadians will come back again looking to make something happen. Nice defense right there from the Cruz. Referee tells the young Canadian player to get back up. It was a good hit, and they will continue on. Canada going right to left with a switch with the right back and center back, and the right back comes in for a shot. That was number 22, Miley Lemaire, who crossed with the center back and came down Broad Street for a nice jump shot from about 8 meters.
That's tough for Sophia. I feel like she got a fingertip on it, but good shot right off the inside of the post. Can't do too much about it.
Score now tied up at 6-6 halfway through this first half. Nice pass into Heine. And another, it would appear, nope, it's going to be a turnover. So they have to, the Wings are going to have to be careful if they're going to do, oh no, not a turnover. Okay, I wasn't sure what the refs were signaling right there. So it was another penalty attempt. So as Heine was trying to dive in right there, the defender was inside of 6, which would allow for Ia Hanovic to get the first penalty shot converted for the Americans this afternoon. America now 1 for 3 from the penalty stripe. And
Sophia got another hand on that. I know she did.
and Canada answers again quickly with a goal of their own from the left back position. You said it, Amber. These teams are playing very evenly so far to start this game, 7-7. It's been an exciting match so far.
Yeah, I think is that one of the Reedy sisters? I think they're using her against this girl who has the ball here. The size differential is making a difference.
Yeah,
That's
the
her
Reedy
number.
sisters are going to have a little bit of a size advantage. Nice deflection by Reedy sister right there. Lucy Brascos has the ball in a fast break. She's all by herself, and she's able to convert it, and she does. Nice shot right there for number 23, Lucy Brascos, as Emma Mirta from the Canadian team tried to get back and throw her off her game. She made a quick cross back into the middle and was able to get the nice shot in the upper right for the Americans to take a 2-goal lead here, 9-7 with just over 10 minutes to go in the first half. Canada move the ball left to right. And here comes the right back down the middle again. Circle tries to set the screen as she passes back left Tough angle right there for the wing player. And Sophia Menchaca is able to kick it over the end line, and it'll be a goalie ball for the Americans as they get ready to reset in the half court.
Looks like they went for a 5-hole there, and Sophia closed it up.
Closed it up. Whoever gets got by the 5 hole, not you, Amber, for sure.
Not me, not me, especially not by Marine, one of our wingers. She gets me every time. I don't know how she does it, but that's why she's a winger.
The Americans come back on the offensive side. Hanovic gets taken down right here. Nice defense by number 37 from Canada, Katarina Vjordlak. A lot of great way to great pass right there. And in and scored. Nice pass. One of the rules on the offensive side is sometimes you want to do your best to pass right before you got hit. Ia Hanovic had already gotten tied up, but was still able to get the slip over the top to the circle for the nice score. Americans now with a 10-7 lead. And then the Canadians turn it over. An opportunity for the Americans to expand this lead here as we approach halftime here in about 10 minutes. It's been a strong start for the Americans. It was close just a moment ago, 7-7. They're on a 3-0 run right now.
Do we have a 2 minute right now, or is there a winger on the left here?
I believe we still have Lucy down here on the left side.
Okay. Oh, there she goes.
Turnover right here for the Americans. Canada will try to bring it back and get a goal back. And they achieve that goal. 10-8 now as America sets it up in center court. We'll try to answer quickly as they start to move the ball a little bit faster. They're going to have an opportunity on the wing if they're able to get it. No, they'll go back to the circle, and she sticks it literally in the top corner of the back of the net. Nice shot right there again for number 17, Maya Reedy. And the Canadians will call a timeout, and I can guarantee you that their head coach is going to want to talk about what they're going to need to do to contain that circle and also the passes getting into the circle.
Yeah, it just really seems like it's the momentum has swung to the Americans. It's been a while since the Canadians have scored a goal, and yeah, Lisa Reedy, I think is having a good day. She's picking on number 2, Emma Lizette, a little bit. So let's see if we can continue to do that.
As you have up on your screen as you watch that IHF feed, tomorrow USA will take on Greenland, whom in their first game netted a 79-point win against Nits and Nerva. A huge win, one like I have never seen in a handball game before. But that goal differential has come into play already, pushing the Americans into the 4th position in the 16 round robin tournament. So the Americans will have an opportunity. We talked about in the first game whether or not Greenland should have ran the score up on that team the way they did, but now that the goal differential is coming into play, with the Americans having just a 1-goal win against Mexico and then a tie against Puerto Rico, these goals do and will matter more and more as we get closer to the end of this round robin tournament.
Yeah, 100%. No mercy. And yeah, we're playing to win.
USA will bring it up past half court. Schluter's playing the center back now. Hanovic at left back. She gets wrapped up, tied up, and controlled, and they'll reset at 9 meters here. Yeah, I did make a mistake earlier. That's number 19, Lisa Reedy, playing the circle for the Americans early on in this match. So a lot of those goals that I was calling out Maya for, it was actually her sister Lisa. We know that they've got some parental encouragement in the stands this afternoon. So a lot going on in favor of the Reedy sisters as they get another goal right here for America to take a 4-goal lead. Canada's been pushing up fast after the goals have been scored by the Americans. They push up fast. The Americans get a quick foul, and they'll reset here at 9 meters.
Yeah, Lucy, I'm telling you, Lucy Brascos is not letting any fast breaks happen on her watch.
She's done a good job getting back on defense. For the most part, a lot of the Americans have done a good job at breaking up the initial fast break. But although they've broken up the initial fast break, there's still been a little bit of some secondary opportunities for Canada. But in that opportunity, you saw that the Americans were still able to get the foul set. Oh, wow. Nice pass right there from Canada as the Reedy sisters collapse on that right back position coming in. And it's going to be a 2-minute penalty I believe, is going to be given to either Hanovic or one of the sisters. Yeah, I believe it was Ia Hanovic that's going to get that 2-minute penalty called against the Americans here. And Miley Lemaire is going to take the penalty for Canada here. Sophia Menchaca in goal for the United States. She's unable to save it. Goal Canada, 12-9 now, with just under 8 minutes to go.
It had been a while. Canada really needed that. So if we can score here, that'd be a good momentum stopper.
Earlier, I believe Canada actually well, the United States was able to get one goal when they were playing a player up earlier. So now the Americans will be down one player here with Canadians having the advantage.
Uh-oh.
Turned over by the Americans at 9 meters. Ball's deflected and then ran across. Nice run by Canada, and a little fluff shot goes in for the goal. Two quick goals with the player advantage, one on penalty and one off of a secondary fast break for Canada. And now the score is 12-10 with the Americans in the lead and only 7 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Very effective timeout by Canada.
Yes, it was. The Americans had going on a little bit of run utilizing their circle play. And good decision right there by Schluter to just accept the foul and slowly reset as they're trying to milk away some of this 2-minute penalty. Again, the Americans are playing 5-6 right now. They've got 2 circles in.
Ref is being very demonstrative. We know they're Cuban refs, and Martin has told us that they are very good. So be curious
And
to hear what he was saying.
And that Cuban ref has said that there's going to be a 2-minute penalty given to Canada right now. So it's all even on the floor right now, 5-5 for about 45 seconds to 1 minute remaining in that 2-minute penalty before we'll see the Americans actually take advantage of a player advantage as the Reedy sister gets a nice score from the 6-meter line. Believe that was Lisa again for the goal for the Americans. 13-10 now is the score. Canada will take some time as they have now again removed a goalie again, and they'll play 6-on-5 for this portion of their 2-minute penalty with no goalie in the back. You see the left wing sprinting back as the ball is turned over. Americans don't want to rush, but as we know, whenever you pull the goalkeeper, there is a slight window where there is an opportunity for an empty net. But with the ball being turned over and rolling out of bounds, there was enough time for the Canadian goalie to get back and play. So the Americans now are playing 6-5. Nice pass to the wing. De Cruz thought that the wing would be waiting for it in the corner, but she was running up. So the Americans swung it back to the left where Lisa gets tied up at the circle position. Americans still playing with the one player advantage right here. As Schluter makes a nice move left to right, and the Canadians are there to block it. And a charging foul is called against Schluter. As you see, the goalkeeper runs off again. So Canada will be playing with a 6-on-6 empty net right here on the offensive side. 6 offensive players on the floor for Canada with an empty net. America will stay back in a 6-flat defense. Man-to-man defense with zone principles. Every player has about a 1.5-man responsibility as the ball is sent far over the net. There was a foul given on the play, so it'll be a 9-meter reset. And this is really unfortunate for the Americans as that ball flies over the net. The clock continues to run, continue to milk away that advantage they had. Have you ever done anything to try to milk a 2-minute penalty, Amber?
Yeah, well, handball is a little different in terms of like I yell at refs in volleyball, so I'm still learning the etiquette of the game. So me, not so much yet, but like leaving the ball somewhere, I'll do that. I won't shag if it's for the other team. But it feels bad, but then good at the same time.
Ia Hanovic for the Americans right there, I believe getting her second 2-minute penalty of the game as she was unable to control the right back on that attack. And the right winger for the Canadians able to come in for a score. That'll be 12-11 now as the Americans will call a timeout. I feel like they've got some defensive work right here to talk about. as they've had a little bit of trouble in the half court set. Again, nothing too insurmountable as they still hold on to a 1 goal lead. But what are you seeing on the defensive side, Amber, that could possibly give them a little bit more success in order to stop some of the attacks we've been seeing early in this game?
Yeah, I see Canada overloading sides, and so maybe just little bit more communication, but it's no one's really leaving their, like you said, 1.5 person spot, and so I think we might have to start following people around a little bit. But communication, communication, and hands up, we got that big deflection. So I think they're doing well. I think our offense just needs a little bit of variety, but I mean, easier said than done, really.
America coming back onto the court after a short 30-second timeout with only 5 offensive players. They'll be taking on 6 Canadian defenders right here. They're back at full strength. America playing down 1 player for at least another minute or so before Hanovic will become eligible again to come to the floor. Turnover as the ball came in contact with Schluter's foot. Canada will sprint it down, looking for the advantage with the player up. And they quickly get it to the circle, running the 6, and it is now a tie game, 12-12, with 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. America will take their time, and it looks like perhaps maybe that was a line called by the referees. Player stepped on the 6 meter line, so no goal on that last possession, and it is still 12-11, with the Americans clinging on to that 1 goal lead and still playing down 1 player right here. Nice
It's
attack and nice foul drawn, and they'll bring it out to 9 meters again. Schluter again, happy to get tied up and reset, waiting for the moment we're able to get their player back. The passive play warning has been given. No more than 2 passes after this throw in, and we'll see a shot. There's the first. Here comes the second. Nope, she'll just take the attempt. Another foul given. Passive play still on. Kind of surprised we're not seeing a 9 meter wall drawn up right here.
That was nice. They played through the passive, got a couple passes. Use it.
Yeah, the referees, I felt like were generous to allow that second pass. The passive play had been given before that last foul had been given. I thought they might have run out of passes, but you saw how the Canadians really walled up that side, and it left a lot of room on the left side for Schluter to go through for the goal. That's pretty much how she was able to get Canada. I don't think believe that they were going to have enough time or enough passes to get the ball to the other side of the court, and the Americans took advantage with the goal.
Yeah, make the refs call it. Gotta try.
Honestly, in that situation, it was better to just go ahead and try the pass instead of taking the bad shot, because it would have been really tough, because on the right side, the Cruz had about 4 Canadian players in front of her. Americans now are back at full strength and turn it over. Wide open court for Canada. A little bit glitchy on the feed, but it looks like Canada was able to get that goal scored on the wide open fast break. It's 13-12 with about a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Both teams back at full strength, and it looks like Hanovic is back at center back. Again, if I'm not mistaken, she has gotten 2 2-minute penalties in this first half of the game, which means a third would be an automatic disqualifier. So she's going to have to be really careful on the defensive side. And you see her actually now, she has become that offensive defensive player out. Earlier in the game, it had been Schluter, but now with Hanovic in danger of being disqualified, she has now become the offensive defensive sub for the Americans.
That's very smart and good catch.
America will dribble it up here with about 45 seconds to go in the first half. I do believe that there is a little bit too much time for this to be the last possession. So we'll see what the Americans are able to do. And I'll expect an empty cross right here between Hanovic and Cruz, or excuse me, Schluter. As Schluter catches it now in the center back position, she's got Hanovic there. She sends it to the corner to Brascos, who lofts it over the goal. And then the Canadians will have about 15 seconds now. Or was that a goal? No, it was not. It looked like she reached through the net to pull that ball out. 10 seconds remaining now for Canada. Right back will look to attack and pushed away by Menchaca. And that'll be the end of the first half of an exciting match between the neighboring countries, USA and Canada, 13-12 in the first half. It was an exciting match. Lots of 2-minute penalties called. So you know that the defenders are out there and ready to hit. Maybe not always legally, but they have been getting in, making a lot of contact, which has resulted in anywhere from about four, maybe five 2-minute penalties in total have been called in that first half. So we'll keep our eye on that and try to see how the defenses have adjusted to these referees' tight whistle in the second half. Again, thanks everybody for watching right here, the handball show, as we're watching game 3 of the IHF Trophy tournament between the United States of America and Canada. My name is Anthony Scott Knox. I'm with Amber Kaufman. We're going to take a quick bathroom break while the teams figure out their strategies for the second half, and we'll be right back with you. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Handball Show. We're getting ready to start the second half of day three of game three, right here between the United States of America versus Canada. My name is Anthony Scott Knox. I'm here with the women's goalie from San Francisco Cal Heat, Amber Kaufman, as the Americans are getting it started right here. The usual suspects seem to be on the floor for the Americans. At the right wing position, we got Heine Pinsky. At right back, Isabella De Cruz. In the center, Ia Hanovic. Over on the left side, here comes Schluter, Hannah Schluter now in the center back position. With the ball on the left wing side is again Lucy Brascos. And then we got the Reedy sister in the middle playing circle. Foul awarded right here. Thanks again so much for everybody joining and watching. This is day three of the Handball Show, calling the live games for the United States of America. Want to remind you all to both like and subscribe to the Handball Show so you can be notified every single time we're going live for these games over the next couple of days and into the future as well. Nice shot from the left back side right there for America. They're the first to score here in the second half. It was a good first half between the teams. There was a lot of 2-minute penalties, as we were talking about as we went to the break. A total of 5 were awarded in total in the first half. Ia Hanovic for the Americans, number 6, the center back who has the ball right here, got 2 of those 2-minute penalties. So she had been running a little bit of offensive defense to ensure that she doesn't pick up that third and disqualifying 2-minute penalty. She's got it right here on the left side as the Americans have gone to 2 circles, but unfortunately turn it over as they try to get it into the Reedy sister. And then Canadians are back quickly with the attack and the score. It's now 14-13. The 2-minute penalties that were called against Canada also went to the same player. That was number 37, Katarina Vijoryak. So she is also in danger of getting a third 2-minute penalty and possibly being disqualified.
It's nice to see we have some blue shirts down at the bottom. The Reedy family, it looks like, and Hanovic, and then got Emma Reedy's number, who is missing from this tournament on that jersey over there.
Nice ball movement on the break by the Canadians. And from the right wing, they're able to get a quick score and tie this game up. 14-14 here as we're just getting underway here in the second half. No time up on the clock right here on our banner, but do just want to remind you all that whenever that time comes back up, to sync the time that we have here in our feed with the time from the IHF live video stream that's going on. Whenever that clock comes up later, you'll be able to get that synced up. But for right now, we hope you're enjoying not only everything you're seeing, but everything you're hearing as the Americans are attacking the left side and fouled as the ball is thrown out of bounds. And they'll reset with Lucy Brascos here on the left side of the court. Hanovic attacks the center and is wrapped up and thrown down as 2 Canadians hit the floor with her, and the Americans will reset here. A couple of fouls awarded early here. We'll see how much longer before the referees potentially hold up a hand for a passive play warning. Another foul called as De Cruz goes crashing again to the defenders. Heine Pinsky runs in at the circle, 2 circles in for the Americans as they look to attack again. And another foul is called. I'm sure the Canadians are saying we've done everything to stop them. How much longer for a passive play? Looks like the referee's hand is in the air, and goal by the Americans. Can't quite see who the number was on that last score, but the Americans were not able. May have been a line violation on that last play, as the score is still tied up 14-14. Canadians moving
Seems
left
like
to right.
seems like teams are just warming up after halftime. This long tournament, third day, definitely sore.
There are a lot of games for both of these teams to play with the 6-team round robin. That's 5 days and 1 game a day for 5 games. It definitely starts to accumulate. But at the same time, I've been in a lot of tournaments myself where we could play as many as 5 games in 2 days. So it's a little bit better. But at the same time, these girls are giving it their all. So it can be a little bit daunting on the body after all the contact that comes in with this game. And I know how you have said as a new player to handball, Amber, this game is very, very high impact.
Yeah, it's almost every play on offense, it's running full speed into two other bodies. It's incredible. Here she goes. Boom.
Pinsky back into the circle. DeCruz makes a move right to left and bangs it in off the left post and in for the goal. I must say the Canadians have been very, very fast with their quick starts after the goals. I felt like on that last possession, we might have had one of the players running past half court a little bit soon. We'll see if the referees key in on that and try to make sure they're a little bit more honest about how fast they're restarting. Canadians with it on the right side now. Reedy sisters up to make the defense. Canadians will reset right here on the left side of their 9 meter. And a goal thrown in on the top right corner for the Canadians. The Americans are kind of repaying the favor with those quick starts. It looked like Penske may have had a little bit of a head start on the right side right there. But a lot of times when there's no advantage gained, the referees will just kind of let it slip by. But again, that would be something I would be looking into, especially in a close game like this one, 15-15. A little bit of advantage like that, sneaking past the half court line on the quick start, could turn into a free goal. So we'll see if the referees do anything about that. Penske runs in again and create a second circle opportunity for the Americans. Nice move by DeCruz, but she's turned away by the Canadian goalie. Again, this essentially turns into a home match for the Canadians. You can see the fans really up and on their feet cheering on the goalie after a nice save against DeCruz on the right side.
Yeah, Fremont is represented there by the Reedy family, which is where Cal Heat practices. So very cool. Fremont all the way over in Canada.
Cal Heat practicing at Centerville Junior High School in Fremont, practicing twice a week during the fall and spring. The typical handball season in the Americas will be looking for tournaments to start kicking up sometime around October and November, depending on what corner of the country you live in. Looks like a penalty has been awarded for Canada. They'll go up against Sofia Menchaca and scores it in the top left hand. And I believe that might be the first lead for Canada here in this match. They're now up 16-15. We'll see if the Americans are able to get that goal back and regain the lead as they send it right to left. And Ia Hanovic signals, I believe, more than likely for Penske to run in once again for the second circle. There she goes. And she's wide open on the 6 and fluffs it over the net. Unfortunate right there. She was wide open at 6 meters, but fluffed it not only over the goal, but over the goalie, but over the whole goal itself.
Yeah, looks like we're trying a little bit of different offense, starting a lot further back, getting more momentum, creating space. That worked. We were wide open.
2 plays in a row, we saw Penske run in and create that second circle. Hanovic with her right hand in the air looks to be signaling for it again, as Schluter turns the ball over with Lucy Brascos over in the corner for the Americans, and Canada will bring it up in no hurry to get something going right here in the half court set. Canada up 16-15 here early in the second half. They are undefeated in this tournament 2-0, looking to get a third win to put them in a nice position to earn one of those 2 spots to qualify for the Women's Handball World Championships that'll be held next year. The top 2 teams again going on to qualify for that World Handball Women's Championship, World Championship. And the top team will be qualifying for the IHF Intercontinental Tournament. So these are 2 teams that really have their sights on those prizes. So we'll see how they continue to compete with each other. Now Canada has a 2-goal lead against the Americans. DeCruz, nice slip pass to Breedy, and she scores it in the top left. And there you go. You see the quick start attempt by the Canadians derailed by a faulty pass up into the center circle. Again, I feel like the referees are allowing for a wide spectrum of that 3 meter area for them to restart their plays. A little bit of a freeze on the feed right here on my side. So as we wait for here comes our video back. All right, looks like we had a foul on the play. Canada will reset at 9 meters. Right back comes in, bobbles the ball, tries to get it to the circle, and a foul will be awarded, and Canada will reset here at 9 meters. America's looking for that passive play warning, and the referee has their hand in the air. Passive play warning is on. Spin move and goal. Tough goal, not awarded, but it looks like maybe a penalty or a 2 minute, if not both, going to be given. And that is going to go against one of the Reedy sisters. Looks like it's number 19, Lisa Reedy, that's going to go off the court with a 2 minute penalty right here. Penalty shot is going to be number 14 from Canada, Florence Boisclair, and she scores it in the bottom left against Sofia Menchaca of the American team. And I'll make it 18-16 with just under 20 minutes to go here in the second half. So the Americans playing down a player right here. They're going to be 5-on-6 right here on the defensive side, looking to move the ball quickly, find some gaps. It'll be tough to find gaps playing down a player, but they'll also be happy to take a few fouls and milk that clock a little bit as well. DeCruz sends it to the left. Hanovic bobbles it, and she turns it over. 2 players on 1, and Canada scores it for another one, taking a 3-goal lead. I wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout from the Americans. Although at this point, there's not a whole lot to do but to hold on until they get their 6th player back. Again, Lisa Reedy is out with a 2-minute penalty right now for the Americans. Now playing with only 2 backcourt players, 2 wings and a circle, and a nice goal right there on the right side by DeCruz. It's really clutch whenever a team is able to get a score when they're playing with the player down, Amber.
Yeah, it's always nice. And the momentum swings seem to be really big with these 2 minutes. So let's hopefully get a stop here, get a goal, and we're right back in it.
Canada attacks right to left and now sending it back to the right, swinging it to the right wing and back around to the left. Nice deflection by the Americans. It's out of bounds on the sideline. Canada will reset.
Gotta love that as a goalie. Get those hands up.
Nice block by Maya Reedy in the middle. Another foul awarded. We'll be looking for the referees to possibly put a hand up in the air for the passive play. That hand is up. Passive play warning is on. And a penalty has been awarded as the defenders from the American defense were inside of 6 meters right there. No 2-minute penalty awarded this time, which is important because they are already playing a player down. But the Canadians will have an opportunity to extend their lead here in the second half with a penalty attempt.
Yeah, I never know how defenders manage to stay out as much as they do.
I can tell you it's really, really tough. I like to think of myself as an all-around player, but on the defensive side, I kind of where I prefer. I prefer to divvy out the punishment as opposed to being hit by it so often. America is back at full strength right now, 6-on-6 here on the offensive side. Early on in the second half, we've seen a lot of Heine Penske running in to the circle. We'll see if we see her repeat that or if we see Ia. And up here comes Penske into the second circle again. Defense able to wrangle up and control Isabella DeCruz on the right side. Penske will stay in at the second circle as Ia Hanovic dives in and again is able to achieve another penalty attempt for the Americans. Looks like Maya Reedy is going to be the one to take it this time. Hanovic had a tough
Goalie
start to the
change.
match, missing her first 2 penalty attempts. And now Maya Reedy, who took the majority of the penalty attempts in the first 2 games for the Americans, is now going to come up with a specialty goalkeeper who is running off the bench right now to attempt to make the save for the Americans. That was number 39, Rosaline Roy, who came in off the bench for the Canadians, but was unable to make the save. And now it's 18-20 for Canada. And a quick save by Menchaca. Canadians making a quick goalkeeper change, but Americans unable to get the ball back quick enough to take advantage of that briefly empty net. USA now moving it right to left. Hanovic still playing the center back position. We'll see if Penske runs back in for the second circle. There she goes. Hanovic able to control it just enough to get it over to DeCruz. She takes a few steps while she's being fouled, so they'll reset at 9 meters.
Seems like we're trying to run the offense through DeCruz right now. She's doing a pretty good job finding the open woman
She's got the ball
person.
as she swims. Deflected out by the goalie right in to the American arms. That was Penske, Heine Penske, who had run in to be the second circle and found herself the fortunate rebound and was able to put it in the back of the net.
Big possession here.
All right, missed the shot attempt off of a brief video feed, but it looks like the Americans were able to get the defensive stop. And now coming back into the half-court set for an opportunity to tie this game. Heine Penske looks like she's raring to go to get back into that second circle. The Americans have had some success right here, causing some confusion with the second circle. They're in it. Schluter with the ball on the left side, looking for Brascos. She's put down on the ground and fouled, and she'll reset here on the right side. Hanovic with the ball in the center sends it right to DeCruz. Oh, a lot of open space on the right side of the court with Penske being in at the second circle. The Americans unable to take advantage of it as Canada is able to get the ball again and bring it back up into the half court.
Canada's probably going to take their time here. The 1-goal lead. Try to stretch it to 2.
On the floor in the backcourt positions for Canada, number 18, Lily Coates. And that was the center back, Emma Mirta, number 2, on the shot. And now the Americans are running down a secondary break, but turn it over. They'll have a little bit of opportunity. Nice bounce pass ahead. She'll be wide open for the shot. And that's the center back, number 2, Emma Mirta, with the score. Now up by 2 for Canada as she looks to be running that offensive defense type of substitution pattern for Canada. She runs to the bench in favor of a bigger, stronger defender. Canada's going to need those strong defenders in there as the Americans have been running this 2-circle set for much of the second half. Americans with the ball on the left side. Oh, tough foul right here called. It looks to be a common foul. Referees coming in to get order of things as no extra penalty is awarded. I haven't seen very many yellow cards in these first few games either, especially in this one. They went straight to the 2-minute penalties early on, as we've had a total of 6 called so far in this game.
Yeah, referee pretty involved right now. I keep watching. There's a couple little American flags down there at the bottom as well. So we have some representation, but I do think the big home court advantage for Canada is probably nice for them.
Right on cue, you saw the referee give a yellow card. I'm not sure if he was giving it to the bench or a coach or maybe even a player, as it seems now that the Canadians are playing down one player as Penske gets on the right wing and is saved by the Canadian goalie. And it looks like Canada will run their goalie out to maintain full strength on the offensive side while sacrificing an empty net to keep it 6-on-6 on the offensive side. So we'll see if Canada is able to convert on a goal. Now, whenever you see a team go with a empty net situation, they're always going to run the wing off that is on the side of the bench. So we'll see that right wing up there sprinting back off the court at some point in order to get off the court quickly enough to get the goalie back in position. But right now, the teams are in the midst of a timeout. 21-19. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning into the Handball Show. My name is Anthony Scott Knox. I'm excited to be here with you all calling this game with Amber Kaufman. It's been a great showing so far in this tournament for the Americans. They are undefeated, winning their first game in dramatic fashion with a 1-goal win over Mexico and tying their second game also in dramatic fashion yesterday against Puerto Rico. It's been really exciting, Amber. What's been your favorite highlight so far these first two games?
Yeah, definitely the last second shots. I've deemed them the cardiac kids, so we're tight in this one. Hopefully we can get a last second winner again.
In America now standing in the fourth place position here of these six teams. And again, because their tight two first matches only gives them a 1-goal differential in their advantage when the top two teams have over 70 goals in their favor. That is going to really come in handy for them as we come to the end of this World Cup qualifier. Canada will reset right here on the offensive side, still playing with six offensive players and an empty net on their defensive side. You'll see that right wing sprinting off right now. If I were the American defense, I would almost want to just leave that right wing defender, that right wing open because she seems to not really have any responsibility outside of a dummy offensive player that is just looking to run off the court at some point, as she does again right here.
Must be a fun job.
Yeah, she's trickling back in after the last foul was called and now sprinting back off. Another foul awarded. She might even trickle back in, or she might just say, Coach,
Oh, there she goes.
I
I'm
would
running
like to
sprints
just
here.
I would like to just stay off of the field for this next offensive possession, please.
Oh
As she
man.
sprints back off and lets the Canadian goalkeeper take her rightful place in the net. Should be about 30 to 45 seconds remaining on this 2-minute penalty for Canada. Americans looking to practice patience right here, moving the ball left to right. Nice save right there for Canada. And the Americans will tie it up right here. Be careful right there, inside of 3 meters on the throw in. Canada will again take their time. It's a little bit difficult for us to know the exact time on the 2-minute penalty. They have not updated the clock right here on our banner for the second half. Canada is playing with six offensive players right now. Not quite sure if they're playing with an empty net or not. The 2-minute penalty should be just about over, and I believe it is. Both teams playing at full strength right now on the court.
Yeah, nice little reset. Let's get a goal here. I mean, if that's always the goal to get a goal, but be nice.
I see what you did there, Amber. Here we go with the Americans again in the half-court set. The Cruz cross on the right side with Heine Penske, and Penske runs back in again to create a second circle, trying to create a little bit of confusion for the Canadians. They've got Lucy Brascos on the left wing. She gets it and lofts it smoothly over the top for a goal for the Americans. And again, Canada with a quick start, already back on the offensive side. The Americans are there in the defensive set, but unable to get the stop as Canada scores over Isabella de Cruz here on the right side. Or perhaps not. It looks like another violation called against the Canadians as the feed has gone dead on us again for just a second. So it's been a great first half, or excuse me, a great second half, a great game overall. No team has gone up by more than about 3 goals so far in this game, with a lot of back and forth action.
Yeah, definitely like to see fewer penalties. It might be just getting chippy out there. They might be getting frustrated. Goalies are doing great. The Canadian goalies making some big moves, so gotta find the corners.
As we work through this technical difficulty, we can take the time to highlight some of the games that we have had so far today. This is game 2 of day 3. Earlier today, excuse me, this is game 3 of day 3. Earlier today, Puerto Rico lost in a close one against Greenland, 30 to 29. Greenland coming out with the win. And in a blowout, Mexico beat Kitts and Nevis 64 to 4. We haven't gotten an opportunity to call one of those Kitts and Nevis games so far, but it looks to be like they might be a up and learning new team trying to figure out their way in the handball community. I know that you haven't been playing for very long, Amber. What has been some of the hardest things for you to figure out as you've come into this new sport for yourself?
Yeah, the fouls I would have to say are number one. I don't still, I kind of have an idea, but still don't really know what is a foul and what isn't, what's a common foul, what makes it worse. I mean, obviously the ones where if they run by you, oh, here we go. But yeah, fouls are confusing.
Well, at least you're in the goal, so you haven't had to at least be fouled or hand out too many fouls. But I do understand what you mean. It can be a little bit difficult to understand because some of the hits can be so aggressive, yet they are deemed legal. But then sometimes it seems like you just bump somebody just a little bit off center, you can get a card or a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah, it's all about kind of if you're in front of them, you're good to go. But if you're not, that's when the fouls come.
Have you played much court so far in your six or
I play defense because I'm pretty big and I can get in front. So yeah, I like hug people, hug them.
but no grasping of the hands, right? Did you know that that's illegal?
No, I didn't, but that makes sense. Yeah, okay. That's
So
one thing.
whenever you go to create that foul, you have to get a hand on the ball or the shooting arm or the body. But if you ever go into clinch, you're not allowed to actually meet your hands together around somebody. That is illegal. So a lot of times when you see penalties called or or yellow cards given and you see the referees kind of come in and bring their hands together like that, what they're really doing is signaling that somebody was kind of like grasped and like
Okay, and like
off their
lifted
players
and
side to
moved.
side. So yeah, it is illegal to actually like bind your hands together in order to control somebody. You just have to have your hands on their body to maintain control. So there's a new rule for you. I was glad I was able to shed some light on it.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, no grasping.
So it looks like while we were having a little bit of a feed issue, that there's a timeout been called on the court. So a little bit of a heads up on some of the games that we have coming up next or tomorrow, as Canada has a 23-20 lead right here against the Americans. The Americans had a little bit of trouble so far in the second half getting their offense going, although they have had some good opportunities with their right wing, Heine Penske, running in to create a second circle. But for the most part, Canada's been able to do a good job of controlling. I like to see De Cruz here with the ball in the right back position take advantage of a lot of space that she's got on the right side. If we can get the Reedy sister to make a block here, she would have a lot of space on the right side if she's able to get that angle.
Good
Foul awarded,
sportsmanship there.
foul award, and the Americans will reset with number 17, Maya Reedy, playing the circle position for the Americans. Penske's got the ball for the reset right here on the left side. She's going to stay in as the second circle for the Americans.
Oh, we got some
And again,
slippage.
lots of space on the right side of the court for De Cruz. I'd love to see her take an opportunity to fake left and swing back to the right with a nice hard fake left and a dribble and step shot on the right side. We'll see if she's able to get that opportunity. Mop boys had a busy day yesterday, but we just saw them for the first time as the Americans get their set restarted. Well, you see Hanovic again with that space on the right side, but Lucy Brascos takes the shot from the left wing, and the goalie again is able to secure the 5 hole and make the save. Canada quickly down and quickly scores. Canada on a run here in the second half with a 4 goal lead now. Americans again having a little bit of trouble finding their footing on the offensive side as Ia Hanovic comes back in for the offensive defensive sub. Again, she got two 2-minute penalties in the first half. So although she had been playing defense and Hannah Schluter had been the one running offense and defense with the Reedy sister, that's been turned into Hanovic here in the second half as she has 2-minute penalties.
Yeah, definitely more players in rotation for Canada. So seeing a little bit of wear and tear on the USA team. It's just the same six going hard.
Shot taken and going over the net on the left side right there by Hannah Schluter. Canada will come back with a 4 goal lead. Canada moves the ball now left to right. And Americans now back again. Reedy looking for some help, looking for a ball handler. She resets in the circle. Again, that was a time when they were everybody kind of stopped and looked and was like, "Where's Hanovic?" She was coming in off the bench for that offensive defense sub. So now she's back in to get things going again as Penske runs in and create that second circle. Not a lot of variation in the second half. Here comes the space on the right side, still unable to get that space advantage on the right side as Canada comes back down the court looking to extend their lead.
Yeah, definitely need a defensive stop here. We're running out of time, running out of possessions here.
And you see the Americans on the bench. I can't hear them, but I can see their feet stumping. That's got to be a defense chant. They're doing exactly what you said, Amber. Looking to get the defense going here. And that is going to be a penalty awarded as Brascos was inside of 6 meters. No 2-minute penalty awarded, I don't believe. But Brascos was inside of 6 meters right there. So 7-meter penalty right here. As I believe, is this the same goalie that we had in the first half? Is this still Sophia Menchaca?
It doesn't look like it.
No, it
We
looks
might have
like
Mackenzie Donnelly.
we've got Mackenzie Donnelly now in the goal for the Americans. I'm not sure if she was just there for the penalty. I think she's been playing this entire second half. Going a lot of times when you've got two goalkeepers for a team, you'll see them split first half and second half, especially if the first half goalie doesn't have any type of really fiery. There goes the Cruz on the right side. I told you before, there was a lot of space. If she can fake that left to right, that was a nice spin or a nice swim move over the top of the Canadian defender to take advantage of a lot of space. She's essentially playing one-on-one on the right side if she can make that swim move happen. And finally, she was able to convert.
We
And Canada's still looking for space. Big foul, and that's going to be a charge. Great defense right there for the Americans.
we need that over and over. Don't let them stall either.
Nice play. Hanovic's got it. 2 minutes going to be given right here.
Fan is not happy about it.
Hanovic was quick to fall to the court right there. Yes, I believe that was number 37, Katerina Vijorjak. That's her third 2-minute penalty of the match, and she has been disqualified now. Again, in handball, you can have unlimited common legal fouls. You can even get a yellow card. But once you get your second yellow card, that turns into a 2-minute penalty. And once you've accumulated three 2-minute penalties, which Katrina Vijorjak has now gotten, she has now been disqualified for the remainder of this match. So just now we finally got the time back up on the clock. I've honestly had no idea how much time has been left this entire game. It looks like we've got about 2 minutes left to go in the second half. And Canada is playing down one player. They are not going to go at the empty net. They're playing 5-on-6 minus the circle player here. They're going to be in no rush, happy to milk not only their 2-minute penalty, but the last 2 minutes of this game with a 4-goal lead. That's going to be pretty tough for the Americans to overcome with more than likely no more than about 2 to 3 more possessions. The Americans are basically going to have to go 100% on the rest of their offensive possessions in order to tie while also giving up no more goals. If Canada's able to get a goal right here while playing down a player, they could just about seal the Americans' fate, handing them their first loss. Wow, what a shot from about 13 meters out for Canada. And now a 5-goal lead. Looks like it's going to be too much for the Americans today, as there's only 1 minute remaining. They are still up a player right here, so we'll see if they're able to take advantage. I'd look for Penske again to run in for that 2 circles. She has a ton of space. She's calling for it on the right side.
Again, goal differential matters, so still got to play hard.
Nice slip into the circle, and Maya Reedy scores it for the Americans. 22-26 now, about 30 seconds left on the clock. The referees will stop the clock right here. as the goalie threw the ball a little bit too far and they'll reset. The referee is asking the goalie to please be a little bit more careful with those throw-ins. He kind of understood what she was doing, which was just to milk a little bit of clock.
And then he wasted time telling her that.
He gave the timeout. He called a timeout just to get
Oh, okay. Okay, our clock. I was like,
he gave the timeout and stopped. So that's going to just about wrap it up right here as you see the Canadian fans getting to their feet and making noise for their team who's going to come away victorious here. And that's going to do it. 26-22, your final score this afternoon, evening between Canada versus USA. The Canada team takes a 26-22 win. After being down for much of the first half, Canada came out and really took it to the Americans in the second half, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. The Americans had a lot of bright opportunities, but were unable to convert enough goals in order to maintain the lead that they built in the first half. We see the two teams lining up to shake each other's hands and to thank the crowds in attendance. And I'll do the same thing with you all. Thanks so much for watching the handball show this afternoon. Again, you've been watching and or listening to a match between the United States of America versus Canada, who now falls to 1-1-1 in this tournament. A win, a loss, and a draw. The win coming early against Mexico in game one. The draw was yesterday versus Puerto Rico. And again, today we see that they lose against Canada 26-22. Canada improves to 3-0. Tomorrow, the Americans will be back in play versus Greenland, and that game is going to take place at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 11 a.m. here on the Pacific Coast, where I hope for myself and Amber to be back here with you all for another exciting match for the USA Under-19 women's team. Thanks so much for watching the Handball Show this afternoon. Again, we want to remind you all to please like and subscribe. We really appreciate everybody that's been listening to us so far these last few days. We've been very happy to come to you all and bring you all some American coverage of USA Handball. Again, my name is Anthony Scott Knox, signing off for Amber Kaufman. Thanks so much for watching the Handball Show, and we'll be back with you all tomorrow. Have a good night.